Buenos días, happy Monday. ¿Cómo están, damas y caballeros? Aquí el gallito de la sierra, aka Crypto Keeper. I do the research so that you don't have to. Saludos. A while ago, I did a video about my my reasons for buying cryptocurrencies. And back in 2008, I gave an example of when the market crashed and how that affected many of us. I had mentioned that I had lived in my Dodge Ram truck, and I had lost everything I owned. And me fui al suelo, carnal. I went to the ground. I was eating dirt. I was feeling guilty. I was feeling like a failure. And one important thing there is that the only asset that I owned at the time was 2 trucks. And here's one of them. This is my 1996 Dodge Ram 1500. I mentioned that I had lived in that truck. That was the only rescue that I had. That was the only roof in my head that I had. And it's all good because it taught me a valuable lesson. Well, what's that lesson, Gallito? Here's the lesson. First lesson is that if you can get out of debt and have no financial debt, including car loans, and you own your assets outright, you're going to be in a way better financial stability than everyone else. At the time, I had a lot of debt. Déjame, me acomodo aquí poquito. At the time, yo tenía muchas deudas. Y no lo podía sostener cuando cayó todo en el 2008. Right? In 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto, something like that, invented Bitcoin. And at the time, well, you know, something new, you got to be careful. Plus, I didn't have really quick money. I had so many debts, so many collections, so many of everything, too many problems. But I mentioned that I didn't stay on the floor, carnal. No me quedé allí tirado, tragando tierra. I was glad that then, in 2008, I experienced what I experienced because I was at a very young age. And the only assets that I had paid off were basically the clothes the clothes on my back, that truck that I just showed, and that was the roof over my head. I didn't have any other alternatives. I had the house foreclosed. I got divorced. Me dejó mi esposa. Y así pasó. Nothing I could do about those things. It's all good because I learned what not to do again. And the first lesson was, when I get back on my feet, not if I get back on my feet, when I get back on my feet. Porque yo no me rajo, el gallito no se raja. Hasta el último, ¿cómo se dice? To the last kick, carnal. Hasta la última patada. Así son los gallos. ¿Ok? Entonces, ¿qué hice? I started thinking a little more smarter about my money. I realized that the things in this world, the materialistic things, las cosas materiales ya no me importaban. Ya no me importaba tener la troca más grande, la troca más cara, la troca más lujosa. Ya no me importaba tener la casa más grande, la casa más lujosa, la casa más arreglada, right? No iba a gastar yo mi dinero en esas cosas. It didn't matter no more, those materialistic things. That kept me in a bind of financial debt. ¿Ok? Ya no me importaban esas cosas de estar con mis finanzas apretado, right? So I still like good things. I still have nice things, but I did it differently. What I did is I saved up the money. I went old school, and I saved up until I had enough money to make a decision whether or not I wanted to buy something nice for myself. And if I can afford it, and it wasn't going to put a huge dent, and it was a smart way or a smarter way, then I did it. So whatever I buy cash now. Now you might be wondering, well, how in the world are you going to save $300,000 to buy a house? It can be saved. It can be done. And you know why I say that? Because I've done it. Right? I hustle. I go very simple. Almost without nothing. I ain't buying the fancy coffees and eating at the fancy restaurants every weekend. No sir, no ma'am. That's how you do it. Smart money. Now the other part is you take the money that you have and you double it. It's a doubles game. What does that mean? Well, this is what it means. You make an investment with whatever you have left over and you double that money. Then you take that money and you find ways to double that money. And pretty soon you'll take 1,000 to 100,000 in a matter of no time, because you will learn. You will learn on what investments you can do to double your money, to double your profits. You will learn. It's not that hard. All right. So let's talk about crypto. Why crypto? Well, it's very simple for me. On the same theory of doubling your profits, or on the same concept of the money is just a doubles game, right? The concept of doubling your money. Take 1,000, make it into 2,000. How do you do that? Take 2,000, then make it into 4,000. How do you do that? Well, this new investment opportunity came to creation in 2008. And if you were already a good investor, doubling your money on other investments, then cryptocurrency became very attractive to see if we can double our money in those. And guess what? It was very possible, and it has been possible, and it is still possible. Todavía está posible. In 2020, around, I want to say around like September, October, November, right? Go back to some of these cryptocurrencies in October, well, around there, October, November, December of 2020. I think Bitcoin was like at 20,000 in 2020, and then in February it went up to like 40,000. It doubled. That's the double game. If I took 20,000, bought a Bitcoin in November or December of 2020, well, we're in September of 2021 and Bitcoin is sitting at 45,000. My money has doubled. In fact, if you were to buy some altcoins in 2020, around the same time period, your money didn't double, but 10x. You took $1,000 and made $10,000 on that $1,000. I don't know where else you could make those kinds of gains, but that's why I'm in cryptocurrency. It's because it's a interesting way of creating wealth. It's new. It's very unpredictable. It's very volatile, and very risky. But the rewards of cryptocurrency are phenomenal. I have never seen any investment in the history of humankind where one can invest and make these kinds of gains. I have not seen it. And if it's out there, I've never been exposed to it. So what's happening with cryptocurrency right now? ¿Qué está pasando con crypto? You know, this whole week has been a week of bleeding. Toda esta semana, crypto está cayendo. Está sangrando, como decimos nosotros en cryptocurrency. Está sangrando. Right? Polymatic down to $1. Cardano ADA down to about $2.20 or $2.15, something like that. AMP, I've talked a lot about AMP. I like AMP. Down 0.425 or 0.44, something like that. Lower 4 cents, mid 4 cents. I bought some. I just bought some more. And I'm buying more of all of the other altcoins in a matter of the next 2 weeks. And here's the reason why most of the cryptocurrency is down. You have to understand that there are a lot of people who trade, millionaires who are trading on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. And those people who trade influence the market weekly. Well, what do you mean influence the market weekly? Well, what happens? Well, here's what happens. People who trade, they sell and buy. They sell high, they buy low. And you can't blame them. The other people that are selling are people who got in the market around that time. Last year, the time frames that I've mentioned, November, September, October, November, and December, cryptocurrencies, some of them were relatively new. They were at a penny or less than a penny, 0.003, 0.002, 0.0005 of a penny. Those cryptocurrencies today, most of them, I think like Cosmos is trading at like 30 cents. Well, you have to understand, if they bought $5,000 in September, they're feeling wealthy right now because they turned a $5,000 profit. You know, if it's trading at 30 cents, papa, it's 100 and, it's in the 100,000s. $5,000, 100-something thousand, it's gonna make anybody dance, right? It'll make me dance. El bailotongo ahí moviendo la pancita ahí en la dance floor, carnal. Así es cryptocurrency. It makes you addicted. Because where else are you going to turn those kinds of profits? So those people, esas personas que invirtieron el año pasado, en octubre, noviembre, muchas personas están vendiendo. Porque miran que subió y luego miran que baja sustantivamente y se rajan, carnal. And they sell for other motivations. Hey, I want to buy a house. Hey, I want to buy a new truck. Hey, I want to buy me a couple of nice $1,000 Armani suits. Good for you. It's all good. That's okay. We're human beings, right? We like nice stuff. We want to show how successful we are. And that's how some people measure success, by the size of their account. And they go and they buy the materialistic things to show for it. And you know what? I've been down that rabbit hole. And I won't go down that rabbit hole anymore. Because I know that unless you acquire some really good skills in trading, more than likely, without the skills, you're going to end up broke again. And that's what happened to me in 2008. I was acquiring skills prior to 2008, investing. in the mortgage industry and other industries, restaurant industry, and I realized I needed to learn more. I wasn't very savvy about the lending that was being developed and implemented during those times. And I got caught up in the easy financing, and I took more risk than I should have. And though I was making a lot of money, when it all came down, I thought I was going to make more because there was loans that I didn't have to prove my income, and I was buying these investment properties to flip, and timing was bad. And I got in early, but then I also didn't get out early. I got out not in time to reap my rewards, and I lost everything. So anyhow, that's why I do it differently. That's why crypto, I hold it. I don't sell because it's too early. Now, could that same example relate to crypto? Maybe so. But I don't know, and I do know that I'll leave you with this. I am going to hold because I know that we're very early in crypto. There needs not to be too much concern. The government is going to do what it's going to do, and we may have to make choices. Those choices could be A, let me just sell, pay my taxes, and get my profits. B, let me hold, see where it goes, and if I have to move out of the state, the country, because I'm a multimillionaire and the country or the state that I live in is not crypto supportive, then that's what I have to do. That's what we're going to have to do. So that's it. Ahí te guacho, gallito. Don't be alarmed. Señoritas y señores, crypto is the future. Take care. Kikiriki.